Have you ever asked yourself this hard but important question? Is remarrying after 70 truly a fresh start? Or could it quietly take away the life you spent decades building? If you are over 70, or care for someone who is, this may be the most important message you hear today. At first glance, remarriage in later life seems like a blessing, a warm hand to hold, a voice at the dinner table, a second chance at love. But too often, that beautiful hope slowly turns into stress, financial loss, confusion, and deep regret. This video is not meant to scare you. It is meant to prepare and protect you. Because the risks of remarrying after 70 are very real, and they are not just about love. They are about money, health, legal rights, and your freedom. These are the years you worked hard for. You earned this peace. Let us walk together through the hidden truths many wish they had known before saying, "I do," again. Financial vulnerability. At this stage in life, your finances are not just numbers in a bank account. They are your freedom, your stability, your peace of mind. And remarriage, especially without the right planning, can quietly put all of that at risk. Most people believe that if they keep their accounts separate, their money will stay safe. But the law often works differently. When you remarry, your assets may legally become shared, even if your intentions say otherwise. That includes your retirement savings, pension, your home, and anything you plan to leave to your children or grandchildren. If your new partner has debt, medical bills, or adult children who expect support, those financial responsibilities may now fall on your shoulders too. Even the benefits you rely on, like Social Security survivor benefits, can be reduced or eliminated once you remarry. Take Ellen's story. She was 74 when she met a kind man at her church. They fell in love, and she felt lucky to have found companionship again. But her new husband had no savings and outstanding medical debt. Within 2 years, Ellen was using her retirement fund to help him. She was pressured to change her will. Her children were devastated. What started as joy quietly became a crisis. Sadly, Ellen's experience is not rare. Many older adults trust that verbal agreements will protect them. But the system does not work on trust. It works on law. Unless you have legal protection like a prenuptial agreement and an updated will, you may unintentionally redirect your life savings to people you barely know. This is not about being cold. It is about being careful. You worked your whole life to build your financial house. Do not hand over the keys without locking the doors first. Ask yourself, is my financial legacy protected? Have I spoken to a lawyer or financial advisor before making this decision? Will remarrying help or hurt the people I love the most? Because in your 70s and beyond, your finances are not just about you. They are about what you leave behind and who you leave it for. Health responsibility. Overload. When you reach your 70s, your energy, your time, and your health become your most valuable resources. You may already be managing your own health challenges: arthritis, medications, appointments, special diets. It takes focus and strength just to keep yourself well. But when you remarry, you are not only gaining a companion, you might also be stepping into the role of a caregiver. Again, at first, it may seem like no big deal. A reminder to take pills, a few rides to the doctor, helping with small tasks around the house. But health needs can grow fast. What begins as a little help can turn into full-time care. Lifting, bathing, managing medications, responding to emergencies, and emotionally supporting someone who is declining. Patricia, 76, thought she was starting a new chapter when she remarried a widower she met at her local community center. They laughed together, shared quiet evenings, and enjoyed walks. But within a year, he suffered a stroke. Suddenly, she was managing his appointments, changing his bandages, and lifting him from his chair, all while her own knee pain worsened and her eyesight declined. She admitted, I was so focused on helping him, I forgot to take care of myself. This is far more common than most people realize. Studies show that older caregivers often neglect their own health. They skip meals, lose sleep, avoid their own doctors, and feel emotionally drained. And here is something few talk about. Being a caregiver in your later years can actually shorten your own lifespan. Your immune system weakens under constant stress. Your body wears down. And emotionally, you may feel isolated and overwhelmed. It is not selfish to want to protect your health. It is responsible. Before remarrying, ask yourself, am I willing and able to take on someone else's healthcare needs, possibly for years? If my partner's health declines, am I ready to give up my rest, my hobbies, my freedom? You deserve to protect your energy, your health, your time. Because at this age, they are not just valuable. They are sacred. Legal complications. At 70 or older, every legal detail matters more than ever. Because when you remarry, it's not just a matter of the heart. It's a legal contract, and the consequences of that contract can reach far beyond what you might expect. In many states, a new spouse automatically gains legal rights to your assets, even if your will says otherwise. That means the home you worked a lifetime to pay off, the heirlooms you promised your daughter, or the savings you set aside for your grandchildren could legally be claimed by someone else. And what about medical decisions? If you become ill or are unable to speak for yourself, your new spouse, not your children, not your lifelong best friend, could be the one making choices about your care. Carol, 81, experienced this firsthand. She remarried a kind man from her church who treated her well. But when she suffered a fall and required hospitalization, everything changed. Her daughter, who had power of attorney before, was now legally overridden by Carol's new husband. He didn't know her full medical history. He didn't understand her wishes. The family was thrown into conflict and eventually into court. And what about your will? Loss of personal freedom. By the time you reach your 70s, you've earned a kind of peace that younger people can't fully understand. The quiet mornings, the freedom to go where you want, when you want, the joy of reading without interruption, eating dinner at 4 p.m. or 9 p.m., watching your favorite shows without debate, sleeping with the window open, the thermostat low, the house just how you like it. But remarriage often means trading that peace for compromise. Suddenly, you're adjusting your routine, sharing a bed, a bathroom, a TV remote. Maybe you're cooking when you don't feel like it, attending social events you don't enjoy, answering questions when you'd rather sit in silence. Florence, age 76, thought she was ready for marriage again. She had lived alone for 10 years after her husband passed. She missed companionship, yes, but she also treasured her quiet. Her mornings of tea and crossword puzzles, her spontaneous weekend trips, her way of doing things. After she remarried, the changes began. Her new husband liked the television loud. He wanted 3 hot meals a day. His grown children visited often and stayed long. Florence found herself overwhelmed, out of sync, and exhausted. She told a friend, "I wanted love, but I miss my freedom more." And she's not alone. In your 70s, peace of mind and personal space are not luxuries. They are lifelines. You've spent a lifetime giving to others, raising children, helping family, supporting a spouse. This chapter was supposed to be for you. Before remarrying, ask, am I prepared to share my space again, fully? Will my day-to-day life improve or become more complicated? Is this truly what I want or what I feel pressured to want? You don't owe anyone your freedom. You owe it to yourself to protect it. Financial entanglement. Let's talk about something few people like to say out loud. Money in your later years is not about growth. It's about preservation. You're not trying to double your wealth. You're trying to make it last, to ensure that your final years are comfortable, that your children are cared for, that your final wishes are honored. But remarriage can complicate all of that in ways that are hard to reverse. Your Social Security benefits might change. Your taxes might go up. Your ability to control where your money goes when you're gone might vanish, unless you plan ahead. Gerald, 82, remarried a woman who had 3 adult children. At first, it didn't seem like a concern. But 2 years later, Gerald had sold his vacation home, dipped into his emergency savings, and covered his wife's medical bills and helped her son pay off credit card debt. He said, "I just wanted someone to eat dinner with, but I ended up giving away half of what I built." It doesn't mean your new spouse is a bad person. But if your values, financial habits, or family obligations don't match, it can quietly drain you. And here's the hardest part. If you pass first, your new spouse may inherit control of your estate and then give it to their children, not yours. Everything you worked for could end up in the hands of someone you barely know. Ask yourself, have I made a clear financial plan with legal protection? Does my future spouse understand and agree to keep finances separate? Do I truly know how they handle money? You have every right to ask hard questions. You have every right to protect what you've built, because love should never cost you your legacy. By the time you reach 70, you've lived through love, loss, hope, and heartbreak. You know what it means to sacrifice, to build, to care. You've earned this chapter of your life, the one that should be rooted in peace, clarity, and purpose. Remarriage can bring warmth, but it can also bring entanglements you didn't expect. Financial, emotional, legal, and physical demands that quietly reshape the life you once enjoyed. And here's a truth no one says loudly enough. You don't need a marriage license to find love or connection. You can find it in deep friendships, in old photos and warm memories, in a grandchild's laugh, in community, in faith, in simply being present and proud of the life you've built. So before you say, "I do" again, take a quiet moment and ask yourself, am I marrying because I want to, or because I'm afraid to be alone? Because here's what you must know. You are not alone. You are enough. Right now, just as you are. You deserve peace. You deserve protection. You deserve a life that honors your journey, not one that rewrites it. If this message spoke to your heart today, please let us know in the comments. Tell us what part meant the most to you. And if you found value here, please click the like button, subscribe to Wisdom for Elders, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video that speaks to your stage of life. And finally, share this video with someone you care about, a sister, a friend, a parent. It might help them see what they hadn't considered. Thank you for spending this time with us. You are wise, you are strong, and you are never alone. Stay safe, stay true to yourself, and above all, stay wise.